Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So this is probably going to be my final layer, and I left it alone for a while and I've come back to it, and there's a lot that I'm really loving about this, which is good because I am in the last few layers, or maybe the last layer. But right off the bat I can see that I'm not really liking like the two patterns over here. Is just looking very disjointed to me, because they're just very equally balanced, and I'm not liking that, because I just want to create kind of some interest, and so it's just not sitting well on the page. And I'm also not liking this part over here, and just a few other things in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dive right in, and I think the first thing I want to do is draw some facial features, and I'm going to use my Stabilo and just quickly sketch in some features. And I'm going to do it dry. I'm not going to wet the pencil. And one of the great things I love about this Stabilo is that you can erase it. So if you make a mistake, you can just take some water and a paper towel and you can erase the entire, all your lines and marks. So I really want to keep this red here, but it's forcing me to make the eyes a little lower than I would like. So I'm not sure if I can keep the entire red piece, although I want to. I'm gonna try to put the eyes like where I normally would put it. So I'm gonna try to and I'm really gonna try to keep that red because I absolutely love it. So okay, so what I'm gonna do now is work on the background, and I think I'm gonna go for the same gray that I had, and I'm just gonna do another coat of the background, and I'm gonna cover up some of this stuff right here because it's too distracting and I'm not really liking it. So I'm just gonna quickly cover this up here. Now I'm gonna leave that little bit of pink, and I think I'm gonna cover that up as well. Maybe just leave a little bit of it showing. And like I've mentioned before, I think in my previous video, if you cover something up and you want to get it back, it's gonna be almost impossible to scrape it off, and depending on the materials you're using, but for what I use, I mean, I can't get it back. But if I leave it and I want to cover it up later, that's much more feasible. So oftentimes if I think I want to keep something, I'll just leave it, and then later on I can go cover it up. And now I've got to fix the this over here. So I want to keep this one because it's going to move my eye. I think I'm going to get rid of this. That's just too distracting. So I'm going to get rid of that. And so I want my eye to move from here to here to here, but I don't want like such a balance. So I might just keep very little of this part here. So let me see what I can do here. So it's going to be difficult for me to get that exact color, but I'm going to try my best to get it as close as I can. So I want to keep, like, say a little bit of it. So maybe just tone that down here. And I think what I'm going to do is make another pattern. And bring some of this into other parts of the painting because I really love that color. And maybe just bring another fun pattern into this mix here. But for right now, I'm just gonna let it alone and allow it to dry. But see, it moves my eye from here to here and then to here. And then this red kind of brings me back here because I don't want my eye to go from here to here to here and then off the page. I want to keep it moving through the page here. So I'm going to work on the facial features with my pen, and this is a Tombow calligraphy pen, but unfortunately I think it's been discontinued. It's a really great pen, and I've been trying to look for it, but I can't find it anywhere. So I really don't like it when I love something and then it gets discontinued, because now I've got to find a replacement. And I'm not getting too fussy with the face, or at least I'm trying not to get too fussy. And I'm just gonna kind of fill in the lips a little bit here, but I'm also gonna bring in some color with my paint. But for right now, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But let me see here. So I want to make some kind of marks here, and I think I'm going to use my Inktense pencil, but I want to outline the edges of the figure. And so I'm using my blue Inktense pencil. This one is called Sea Blue, and it's a really beautiful blue, actually. So I'm just going to make some scratchy marks. You know, I just want it to be very like raw and unfinished and have like just like a scribbly kind of a feel to it. And I'm going to bring some of the color into the face here because the face needs a little more color, I think. I'm thinking here. So I've got to just fill in the eyes a little bit and just make some more facial details here, but I don't want it to be like too stilted. I want it to be like very loose. gotta give her some eyebrows. And so I think that I am actually done with this. I mean, I want to do a few marks here. And so I might come in later and, just do a few, tighten up the face a little bit, maybe add some whites to the eyes, just kind of make a few more embellishments once the background has dried. But for the most part, I want to say that this is now done. So I hope that I have illustrated with this series how I started off with my first layer. I thought it was okay. I came back to do what I thought was going to be a second layer, but then I didn't like my first layer. And so I tweaked it and I worked on it a little more. And then I just continued on. So that's a great thing about mixed media is there are no mistakes. And a lot of times we just have to stick with something and just keep on working with what we have, because if you have a spread and if you even love like 10 or 20% of it, that's a starting point. It's better than having a spread where you hate, everything on the page. So try to look for a few parts of the painting that you really, really love and try to work with what you have rather than focusing on the things that you don't like, because mixed media is so forgiving. And I just find that accidents turn out to be really happy, kind of not even, I don't want to say they're mistakes. I want to say that they're just happy moments on the page, and we can use those moments to enter a portal and look at things from a new perspective, and try to find out the things that you love and work with what you love. So I hope you've enjoyed this series from scratch to the end piece, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.